Oh, yes. Would you like to, the next presenter?
Yeah,
I feel
for
like
sure.
You had a wonderful conversation with her, so I want you to.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So our next presenter, we were chatting, and I'm trying to learn Tagalog. I'm trying to learn some Filipino, and this person was very kind, very helpful, helping me learn some grammar in the green room before the show. So I'm really happy for you folks, if you haven't met her, to meet her now. She recently ran for city council in Edmonton. Coming to you folks, and I just want to say, if you were, repping in my ward, I totally would have voted for you. Just saying, yeah, hearts, yeah, girl. So I'm super stoked for you to meet her. The title of this presentation is "I Made It Out Alive," my first attempt at running for Edmonton Municipal Election during COVID. So folks, here in Edmonton, by way of the Philippines, please give a lot of love to Giselle General. Kamusta?
Mabuti po.
Oh, there you go.
That's a polite version, being respectful. Wow, that was nothing to sneeze at. It's a phrase I've never heard before until election season. Turns out, being second place with 5,180 votes, running a campaign during COVID with limited funds was noteworthy. You should feel proud, I was told. How do I feel? Not that. I felt inspiration, gratitude, and awe. But most of all, relief that I made it out alive and uninjured during my first political candidacy. As a candidate, there are many typical things you need to prepare for, such as your platform, who to ask to donate or volunteer, this thing called Get Out the Vote plan, communication strategy, and many more. Back in 2016, I attended my first Elections 101 program hosted by the city for women who wanted to run in municipal office. A current city councilor at the time, a white man, was enthusiastically doing a pitch telling us women we should run. So I raised my hand and said, Sir, Councilor, is it actually safe to run for office in Canada, in Edmonton? Do I need to worry about getting murdered for political reasons and my dead body floating in the river valley? He was shocked by my question, but reassured me it is safe to run here. Fellow participants told me afterwards, I was worried about social media trolls, but not actual threats to my life. In my mind, well, no, for me, that's top of mind. I then realized that in the other workshops and campaign toolkits I accessed, that it will give the fundamentals of running a campaign, but it won't be enough to help me formulate a campaign that fits with my values and would really protect me from violence. Immigrants and visible minorities have a much steeper learning curve as far as the political etiquette and campaigning culture here. And it is even worse when you come from a country where politicians, journalists, and activists actually get harmed on a regular basis. When a candidate knocks on your door, what comments do you make? I got, what's your background? Do you have kids? Are you native? Oh, Filipino! I love Filipino caregivers. Do men and white candidates get this too? I also know that all it takes is one horrible incident to cause permanent harm. So I was worried all the time. Can I do like self-defense or call 911 quickly or give first aid to myself and my volunteers should anything go really wrong in the campaign trail? On top of that, I had a difficult time asking for help. And that comes from trauma, from being an immigrant and an orphan. But that was really important to work through and overcome because Ward CP Wunawak, where I was running, was such a massive area. Running during COVID added additional concerns also because of the increased prevalence of anti-Asian racism. I can't change how I look. I look visibly Asian, wears a mask when I'm out and about, and gets misidentified as indigenous sometimes. There's additional concerns also brought up by my fellow immigrants who are volunteering for the first time. The big one, dropping off flyers in people's mailboxes. I told them it's allowed, they're not breaking the rules, but they skipped mailboxes that says no flyers or no soliciting. They're worried about my reputation, and they're also worried about getting yelled at, being accused of being rude or stupid. They thought it's better for people to not know about me than see an unwanted flyer and then getting mad about me. And as someone who cannot drive and with a weak leg, I still had to navigate the different neighborhoods through bus, cab, and by walking around carrying heavy supplies, which was shocking for many bus and Uber drivers I talked to, seeing a candidate running around like an average person. With all that said, there's so many tremendous people that lend their time and talents and support during my candidacy. Throughout hot summer days and smoky days, which we had, rainy afternoons, navigating hazards on front lawns and streets and sidewalks, they provided support. Many people also provided help remotely, people I've never met even now in real life. Trolls were very few, thank goodness, but I have a long list of incredible people who helped out in their own way. The next day after the election, I got a message on Twitter from a fellow competitor I'm on good terms with. But like me, he didn't win. His message said, "Well, that was a waste of time." And that's one huge thing I personally disagree with. Despite the challenges, I think that getting politically engaged is just part of community service and being an adult. Within a week after the election, I went back to volunteer with my community league, the city, and the Filipino community, went back to my nonprofit job, and booked a therapist appointment, both massage and mentally. All in all, it's a challenging experience, but I'm thrilled that I'm here, not severely injured, not severely traumatized, but I'm eager to share more of my experiences and templates to anyone who wants to run. And hopefully in the future, I might be healthy enough and equipped to run again. Thank you.